Hello, this is going to be a brief poem. It's called Absolutely Infinite Anerophrenic Sasquatches in 2025 2025 Winterscape. Right. So these satellite stations are somehow manicurizing the possible world war mythology, wriggling through the beatnik pathways into the Hades of the seventh heaven, where Thales, the first pre-Socratic philosopher, spends an Edenic eternity reiterating the woven Venusian torso, the cleavages, the Nietzschean cycle of hermetic womankind, and these saline dripping language Goethean flesh. Goethean, as timeless as this gigantic birdhouse with its pyramidine breasts and hips, as is kissed passionately by the carpets of magnolia and redwoods, as this gigantic crustaceous ham blubbers the warthog between the embankments of geophysical quantum disentanglement and entanglement between the mockingbirds that bocce and volleyball batter the gigantic metal-arc face Godzillas of the Neraspheres and the Neraphymics and these Aneronomics. The Tellurian redwood slicked jogopogos swing through the absolute infinite seas, almost as if Edith Stein epistomized that practopoesis is an intersubjective endgame. We stand before Prince Rupert one evening in the year 3000, looking over the generation starships that cascade anachronistically through the bloodstreams, the phallus of 2025. As womankind gesticulates and germinates, the framed mystagogical anti-physical cataphrenic revolutions before this divinity of sacrilegious Rastafarian poetizations, and these gigantic earthworms the size of skyscrapers, as aleatorically arcamboldus the gigantic cornucopias that censor the radioactivity of all the quantum and platonic elements, and this gigantic tuber wildflower-headed falconry does medicine dances before Williams Lake one preternatural pre-existent Monongian century, and this dripping geometrical lancet of harpoons of harlequins and a metal arc the size with the brain of Australia in New Zealand's Toltec Taliesin, and this gigantic caprice of the lunar lycanthropic moons, and this burning ziggurat as this pyromanically swings the boomerang vaginal spermatic rearing quokka, and this quokka so purple with its neon helmet, atomic and oozing gigantic stars, foam and baby universes, as the spiritual nectarine becomes the platonic gushing bloodstreams that twist and inoculate themselves before the shackled carnivorous knot of newly born moons that stand like with valets and barefoot before the wanderlust of a gigantic preternatural razor shaving the Medusa beard of the bridegrooms of winter, and this gigantic cardboard clown tears open the apparitions of these gigantic husks and Mahatmas who screeched as Abeglioni velociraptors as they Latin Americanized, the squared circle raging plumage, this liver, this equipoise of thermometers and thermodynamical Maxwell daemons with gigantic mind uploaded omniversal metaversal brains, and this cranking of these revolutionary foxgloves and garlic cilantro battered aloe vera beauty berry starlight bent naked before the gigantic geniocracy with the succotash billboards of this Taoist woman on Yonge Street, and the Serenia of all these vengeance of the gigantic watercolors, the iridescence, the recalcitrant wildflowers that rinse out the bloodiest toothpaste that conquers your not only Eurasia but all of Andromeda galaxy, and this more metamorphosis between the gigantic blue horse machines. And Emily Dickinson is riding a purple quagga for the antediluvian Alberta, one transgeometrical century, where all these intergenerational hula hoops tied to submarine atomic phalluses. And this gigantic hermaphroditic cisternization of these cornucopias that centrifuge the foghorns of this tempest and Toltec, and this gigantic Socratic incest before the sonatas and the tarantula with the masquerading face of logomachia, as agnostically schizophrenias, the schizoanalysis of all the scopolamine and risperidon, before the Columbiads and noctambulos dance in the medicine dance, the California quails, before all the butterfly and gangrene of Zangazi's butterfly, imperious to the winterscape, before one Vancouver 2100 year night, and this far future sempiternal moonshine, where we deck out solitaire as the radio cries out 5440's Ocean Pearl, and before this gigantic swimming generation starship becomes the Angkor Wat of Malaysia, one Marxist gigantic sempiternal roll-in of our passionate skin that's wriggled bare before all the moonstones and barnacles of the catacombs of Mainan Shango, before this caprice of the platonic form of the moon, and all these exoplanets and rabbit stars ride forever for the apocalyptic whack-a-mole barefoot playgrounds and monkey bars off 1 year in the far future year 9500, before one absolutely surrealistic schizophreniform and schizoaffective Greenland and Finland husk, where the gigantic pumpkins ride for the acrobatics. They smack the bridegrooms with these warthog weddings vows and green hyena abysses. The Pope is one day a gigantic Dravidian goose-fish-faced Linus, woven for a psychiatric prison or a psychiatric hospital, one pedomaniacal century, as the pyromaniacal flames, they gasconade all these legions of these apotheotic Rastafarian goddesses who somehow enclave the siderealizations of all these panpsychic and cosmopsychic, livid, tempestuous, drunken zootropes, were the most handsome wind-wailed enchantresses, as blubbery as the nightingales of Andromeda Galaxy's twin Earth. They somehow marry the chessboards, psychedelically buttressed, and are like Quasimodo, the Zamboni forklifter, and all these albino Mother Marys with purple fluorescent maple leaf hair, as these Mahatmas of Canadiana soak the terrestrial incense and frankincense before Zabaglione sauces and borscht, as these gigantic equipoise of philosopher queens ride flying scrabble houses one sempiternal evening for the gigantic telepathic network of these messianics, a beautiful Christified schizo-obsessive fruitarian omnientheism.